Why did you choose me as a mentor?
Yeah, you need to feel that fit. You need to feel like the person who is going to guide you is the right person. And I think that, yeah, your energy was just amazing. And I just felt like it could be something really cool. And I've just learned so much. And I'm so grateful.
Cool.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about what was going through your mind at the time that you were looking for mentorship? Where were you in your life?
So I guess I was feeling a little bit lost. I just wasn't sure the direction that I kind of wanted my life to go in. I was feeling really stressed as well. I felt like I needed tools in my life to help me kind of get a little bit more grounded and day to day, just to feel a little bit less stressed as I kind of progress through my day. And I've absolutely, learnt lots of different practices that I'm going to use forever. Thank you. To just stay calm throughout the day, because my life's very chaotic. But I really feel like I have those tools now. So I feel like every day I wake up that I'm calm when I wake up. I used to wake up being like, oh my gosh, what is this day going to bring and how am I going to get through it? But now I wake up and I have my quiet mornings and I just think I can just breathe, and I know that I have my little practices that I'm going to go to that you've taught me that are just going to help me flow through the day more seamlessly.
Yeah. We spoke yesterday. I've got my little list here of some of the things that we spoke about yesterday, and you brought up some really big topics about how this work has really helped you. And some of the things that were so profound for me was, number one, the trust that you have in yourself.
Yes.
And this ability that you have now to trust your intuition. And there's a sense of self-doubt that seems to have gone. So can you just tell me a little bit more about that? Maybe elaborate, think about someone who is struggling with that at the moment and explain it in a way that you've experienced.
Before my chats with you, I kind of would second guess a lot of the things that I did. I would be more in my mind and not willing to trust my intuition and trust my gut as much as I do now. So I guess you've taught me that it's okay to trust my gut, and I really do feel that. And I feel almost like through speaking to you that I have that permission now, which sounds it sounds silly, but it is. Just through exploring and talking and, all the different strategies that I can use, I've come around to just, it's okay to trust myself. Like I do know myself and I just need to find myself again. Yeah, our chats have just helped me trust myself again and just know that I can listen to my own inner voice, and I can be confident that what it's telling me is the truth.
Some things that you said in our chat last night that I was just like, home run. We're like, it's not my job to fix anyone.
So I've been dwelling, I guess, a lot over other people's concerns and just been so worried that what they're experiencing is for me to try to resolve. But, I can still be there for them and hold space for them to talk and to work things out on their own, but not be the person who has to go in there and carry it all on my shoulders and fix everything. So it's nice to feel that weight lifted off.
Yeah.
It's nice also to just to not have to judge myself on that or feel like I'm the only one who can help, when there's lots of other factors out there that can support them, and I can be there for them, but not in a fix you kind of way.
Yeah, because you take on so much responsibility in that fix it mode, right? And then it weighs down on you so much and you start to get really like just tired and like depressed, really, because you
Yeah.
feel like you are responsible for everybody else's happiness.
Another thing that you've taught me is that, and we laughed about this yesterday, that worrying it's not useful. It's just not. It's a thing that you can get stuck in this cycle of doing, or I have been stuck in the cycle of doing, but it's not helpful. And it's good to hear those words and to know that and to put that energy into something useful.
Yeah.
To change that energy into something useful.
And it's like a detox, isn't it? Like you're
Yes.
detoxing from this addictive pattern that you didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't know it existed before. Yeah, you talked me through that. Yeah, quite profound when you said, I think you're addicted to worrying. And I was like, oh, yes, I am. It was quite funny, but yeah, also very helpful to hear that and to try to release that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how have your relationships changed since taking on this work?
I'm not in that fight or flight type mindset, body feeling with my family. So particularly with the kids, it has to be this way, and, very, I guess, a bit uptight and highly strung. But now I feel like I've had the space to sit back and just let them be a little bit more of who they are and not worry so much about what happens. Just let them be their little personalities and their little characters, and just be there for them, and watch that sort of unravel, and just accept them as they are for this fleeting little moment of time, and relax a bit more about the way that they're growing up, and knowing that it'll be okay. And I think with my husband as well, similarly, I've noticed that I'm more grateful for all the lovely things that he does for our family, rather than I don't just see what might be called the negative side of things. I'm more open and more receptive, letting people be.
Yeah. And that would just take a lot of pressure off those relationships and off you as well. Just the same way as worrying. It would make you feel like just a little bit more easy breezy.
Yeah, definitely. It is a lot easier. Yeah. You've taught me about boundaries as well. So that was something that we learned right at the start, or I learned right at the start. And that in itself just made a huge difference. I remember you saying, it's okay to, take time for yourself and say that you need space. And just in that same week, I remember my little 4-year-olds coming in and saying, Mummy, I need some me time, and going in and to his bedroom and closing the door. And I was like, wow, this is really magic. It's me doing it, and then it's being mirrored in him. And that was really great. And it's still something that I'm working on, but it's again like a weight lifted off, and just the ability to take time for myself, and know that it's okay, and really enjoy life because of that. Because I have that space back, and I can do things for me, and it's all good.
And it gives your little ones the permission, like you said, to do it for themselves as well. And you're teaching them this valid lesson about what it means to ask for what you need.
Before I started to try to do this, they wouldn't have seen that. So it's definitely such a valuable lesson.
Yeah. And so this leads me on to the energetics of everything, right? So you would have experienced changes that far superseded things that were just material, right? Like the fact that we have this conversation at one night, and then the next day your little one, without you doing anything different, just literally you getting up in the morning and doing whatever it is that you needed to do, there was an energetic shift that happened.
Yeah, there was. So exactly, no words, just the way that I was somehow perceived by him, and then he was able to translate that into saying that he needed space. And I think I've mentioned before as well, you know, with the morning practices and the quiet time, because my kids are quite early risers, I thought, oh, this is never going to work. But in that same instance, they were able to, you know, go and quietly play and give me space. I think because of the way that I was allowing that for myself, whereas before I might have said, like, you have to stay in there and I'm going to be in here and I'm going to shut the door. It wasn't like that. It was just like it naturally happened, which was so lovely.
Which I think is such an important part, because a lot of mamas will say, you know, it's all fair and well that you want us to do X, Y, and Z, but, you know, I'm really busy and I've got heaps of things to do and I don't have the time for that. And I think that what happens is, naturally, if you just choose to put not even a lot of time, if you want to, you can, but if you just choose to do something different, that everything else just falls into place.
Yes, that's exactly right. It is definitely choosing to do it as well. You know, mindfully choosing to do it, because I would have, you know, months ago, I probably would have said that. I probably would have said, I'm too busy. This is too hard. But I guess the things that you've taught me in the time that we've spoken are really little practices that I've put in throughout the day. And in the morning, if I want to, it can be a long time that I take if I wake up early before the kids, but just taking that 15 minutes before the kids wake up, 3 minutes during the day to step out of the room when they're going nuts, and they're safe, but they're going nuts. And I'm in the other room breathing, or, you know, doing a quiet little practice just to reset, to go back there and be a better mum. That has made a huge difference, a really huge difference. Yeah.
Such a big difference. Like, and I just applaud you for actually taking on all of that. I mean, it's just, honestly, I'm just so grateful that you've taken those practices and made them your own, you know?
Oh, thank you for teaching them to me. I wouldn't have thought to do anything like that unless, you know, our paths had crossed. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And is there anything that you would tell your 3-month ago self, who was thinking about whether or not this was the right thing for you and the right time?
I would just say, oh my gosh, just do it. Everyone needs to work with Arianna. It's just amazing. Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be a right time or a wrong time. I just think that this type of work needs to be for everybody, because for me, it's changed my life so much in such a short space of time. It's so valuable, and I've, you know, invested in myself and it's paid off. These are things that you've taught me that I'll, you know, have with me forever. Just the foundations and little seeds that have been planted that will just keep growing and growing. So yeah, I would definitely say to my 3-month ago self, just do it. Just, you know, if you're thinking about it, just definitely do it. It is 100% taking care of yourself, and that will then reflect back on all your relationships around you. So it's definitely,
And the other thing was, like, you know, I remember you having, you know, which is completely normal, most people do, but like these reservations about whether or not the financial investment is, like, you know, this is ridiculous. Like, you know, that thought in your mind, like, I can't possibly spend this amount of money on myself. How did you move past that or through that?
Even after I sort of said maybe not, I still had that voice in the back of my head saying, you know, you should do it. And then we got back in touch again, and, you know, it was just a persistent voice saying, you know, you need to do something for yourself, and this could be amazing. And so just trusting that voice, and just looking through, I guess, some of the things that we would be discussing and seeing that, yes, these are the areas that I feel like I'm called to work on. So then it ended up being, a no-brainer, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. And also, I'm interested to know, did you ever look into courses that had group facilitation and not one-on-one?
With this work being so personal and also challenging, I thought it would be nice to work one-on-one with somebody. Yeah, that's just what it's been like. Our chats have been so informal, but yet informative. Like, I've learnt so much from them. You've not been, I'm schooling you, you've just been talking to me, and it's been so nice. And that's a testament to you in the way that you are. Yeah, you're such a good teacher, but you do it in such a way that I have been able to learn so much about myself, and you've explained it in a, non-threatening, non-complicated way, so that I've actually been able to take everything on board and digest it and put things into practice. So yeah, the one-on-one's been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I mean, it's weird for me sitting here listening to how great I am, but I just have to constantly think about how, how this work just needs to be spread. And I think that I can sing my praises until the cows come home, but it's really about the experiences of others that generally changes the minds of those that are sitting on the fence. So so grateful. Thank you so much for making the time. I know it's at a really busy time and the family's gone out for their haircuts. So they're going to come back all zhuzh.
I know. I get to cut my hair tomorrow. Gosh, I'm looking forward to it.
And I'm going to let you go so you can have some quiet time before they all arrive back.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ran. Let's keep in touch.
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
Alrighty.